Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome abroad. So this is the 2025 IOTB TECH Employability Clinic 01, and we are so excited to have you here. So you are not just attending an event, you are stepping into a space built for growth, clarity, and real progress. So we are starting strong with collaboration in Agile, featuring hands-on use of Microsoft 365 tools and practical tips for thriving in remote work. So these are real-world skills to help you work smarter and grow into this tech space. Some of us are already in the game, others just starting, and that is what makes this space special. Everyone here is ready to learn, grow, and level up. So lean in, ask questions, take notes, share ideas. This is your moment, and we are here to support and cheer you on. Let's start this year with bold learning, real connection, and a clinic that truly adds value. Welcome again to Employability Clinic 01. Let's make it count. Thank you.
Yeah, let's make it count. Thank you so much for that beautiful welcome address, Zainab. Thank you so much. So before we go right into our session, because we don't want to waste much of our time, so we'll be meeting our facilitator, and Henry is going to help us meet our facilitator. So Henry, do we have you here? Hello, can anyone confirm if they can hear me? Exceptional, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Henry, you can use the mic now.
Okay, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to introduce our facilitator for today.
Exceptional, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Henry is muted. He should check his mic. Okay.
Now, yeah,
Okay.
okay, I can see your screen now, but the PowerPoint is not showing.
What is this?
Okay, meet our facilitator, Rafia Abdusalam. Rafia is a highly motivated Microsoft 365 technical support engineer driven to find the gaps and innovative ways to serve Microsoft customers' needs. With a knack for problem solving, she has been providing timely technical support to Microsoft customers all over the world for 3 years and counting. She has a knack for uncovering customers' pain points and identifying strategic solutions. She has successfully resolved over 95% of logged issues within the first 24 hours and consistently meeting the key performing indicator parameters of a 5.0 CSAT, SSAT of 200, and CVR of 100%. Rafia is highly skilled in Microsoft 365 administration, troubleshooting, problem solving, IT support documentation, issue resolution, technical support. She loves change management and strategically fixing problems. Outside of work, she is the lead trainer at R Systems Consult, a training hub that teaches Microsoft 365 skills to fresh out of school graduates and IT professionals. This has not only enriched her life, but also honed her teaching skills, which she finds crucial in explaining complex IT-related issues to non-tech personnel. We are highly honored to have her be our facilitator for today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Henry. So, probably because I cannot see the team screen. So, are you guys not excited? Are you not even excited that, like, with all this citation, it is very plenty for one person. So let's jam our hands together for Miss Rafia while she takes over the session. But before she takes over the session, I would like us to have a very short icebreaker, and the icebreaker is, if you could describe how you are feeling right now in one word, what would it be? If you could describe what you are feeling right now in one word, what would it be? Well, me, I'll just say I'm excited. There's light. I have 2K in my account, and then I've had breakfast this morning. So, and this session is here to, I'm excited about this session. So I will say I'm excited. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm very, very excited. So I'll be taking our feeling, what we are feeling, from the comments, from the chat box. So let's start sending our responses. So if you could describe how you're feeling right now. Exceptional.
Hello, hi, can hear you.
Okay, so is the chat box open?
Of course, it is. Someone is
I
saying
can't
there
see
is light.
anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, there is light here too.
There's light. Oh.
35 said
There's
it's
a
feeling
way this
yeah.
lights up someone's mood. Okay, so I cannot see the chat box. Is it just okay? Let me
I can see
check.
the
No,
chat
this.
box. Noah said it's ecstatic.
Yeah.
Cordida said she's excited. Well, me too, I'm actually excited, actually.
Okay.
I mean, the first session for the year, and the energy is giving. Yes. Zainab,
Okay,
no, is
so
not shaming her this morning. Yes, that's beautiful. We thank God for that.
okay. Actually, MTN is not shaming me this morning too. I had to, even though they are still shaming me a little bit, I had to have my phone on the window. So I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abdurrahman is also excited. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm glad we're all excited, and then so it's actually giving a good sign that this session is going to be okay. Kabir is fascinated, excited, and motivated. Okay, everyone is excited. Wow, I'm glad. I like this energy. So we'll be going straight into our business of the day, and that is our facilitator session: use of Microsoft collaboration tools, Microsoft 365 workshop, and acts to thriving in remote work settings. Okay, so Miss Sophia, do we have you here? Hello, Miss Sophia. Exceptional. Do we have Miss Sophia here? Can you please nudge her?
Yeah, I'm doing that already. She has been with us on the call. I'm doing that already. She will join us soon.
I did not realize my mic was still on mute, so I'll just continue taking the our responses till she joins us. So Ayodeji said he's excited and happy. Tawakat is also excited. So as we're all excited, well, let's wait for our speaker because I'm sure she's not going to disappoint us. So let's continue dropping our responses. How are we feeling about this? Okay, now let's now say, how are we feeling about this session this morning? What are our expectations? So we can start dropping them in the chat box. Malam Yusuf said he's hungry. Malam Yusuf, why are you hungry? Oh? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I'm I'm liking this. Okay, so Abrafi Alimat is excited and furious. Well, let's see how it goes. How it goes. Okay, so we are very sorry. The our facilitator is going to join us very soon. Okay, so someone said he's calm and watching. Okay. Been waiting for this day, excited to be here. Alhamdulillah. Well, Alhamdulillah. Today we go other excited. My expectations, Microsoft tips and tricks, some time-saving techniques. Well, that's good. Okay, so let me just give us another icebreaker. That's happened again. All right, so let's just take another icebreaker now while we wait for our facilitator. Okay, so the icebreaker is two truths. Oh, shit. Okay, so we're taking another icebreaker while we wait for our facilitator. Okay, so the icebreaker is two truths and a lie. Okay, so I would like you all to share two truth statements and one lie about your experience in tech or remote work. But I like for our fellows, you can just say about your experience in class and then I'll guess the lie. Okay, so you people should not put things that will not be able to guess. So 2 truths and a lie. So share 2 true statements and 1 experience about your and 1 lie about your experience in tech or remote work. I'll guess the lie. So I'll be going through the comments, the chat box now. Okay, I should share my own first. It is going to take time for people to type theirs. Oh, okay, so let me just start thinking before I share mine. Okay, so Ibrahim said, I've taken many tech courses. I've had some good mentors. I've made millions in the remote job. So Kabir said it's a lie. So I want to believe Kabir knows. Kabir knows. He knows Ibrahim better. So I'm going to go with Kabir that you have made millions in the remote job is actually the lie. Okay. So Malam Awali said he cannot lie. Why? 2 truths, 1 lie. Okay, so the last one is the lie. I've made millions in the remote job. Okay, so let me give mine. I've never joined a meeting without getting distracted. What else? The first one is I've never joined a meeting without getting distracted. Let me think of another one. I've stayed up for more than 5 hours trying to work on some things. And the last one, should I say the truth? Should I like well, this is not even, it's actually not coming. Okay, so the first one is I've never stayed on a call without getting distracted. Second one is I've stayed up for more than 5 hours trying to get some of my work solved. And then the third one is I'm a cloud engineer. Okay, so you have to repeat them together. No, it is not the second that is talking, it is SM that is talking. Okay, so let me just type it in the chat box. Okay, the second one is I've stayed up for more than 5 hours trying to solve a problem. Okay, Kabir thinks I'm not a cloud engineer. That's the lie. Okay, All right, so information just got to me now that our facilitator is now on this call. Okay, so Mr. Rafia, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right,
Good morning.
Good morning.
So sorry for joining in. Yeah.
All right, so we'll be going straight into your session now. That is use of Microsoft collaboration tools, Microsoft 365 workshop, and apps for thriving in remote work settings. All right, so you have the floor now, Ma. So if you want to share your screen, I can stop sharing.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having
Okay.
me here. Yes, I would love to share my screen now.
All right, Ma. Oh God, I cannot see again. Okay. All right, so you can go ahead now. So, like Exceptional said, now is the time to grab your pen, your jotter, thinking out, and popcorn if available, because you're going to go home with a whole lot this morning. All right, so I'll be passing the mic down to Miss Sophia.
Okay, then. So can you please confirm that you can all see my screen?
Yes, I can. Yes,
Okay,
you
then.
can see the
Beautiful.
screen. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome. So today we're going to be looking at the use of Microsoft collaboration tools with our focus on Microsoft 365 and hacks to thriving in remote work settings. So basically, I would like to say that Microsoft 365 actually brings together the best tools for us and for most employees and their teams to work together from anywhere in the world and from any device. Talk about your laptops, your phones, your tablets, your iTab. So basically, it gives us the ease of the modern way of working. And for a start, I would like to say that to get started with Microsoft 365, you should already have signed up for Microsoft 365, either as an organization or for personal use. Now, to get started with Microsoft 365, you did have to go to the Microsoft 365 website via the office.com. So I would like to briefly share with us the different Microsoft 365 collaboration tools. We have the applications, the likes of Outlook, OneDrive. When you're talking about the Office suite, you have the Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, the PowerPoint, then other applications like OneNote, Microsoft Forms, Planner, and whiteboard loop. We actually have quite a number of them. So I'm going to sign in. This is just some of the collaboration tools that we have here that I've just listed out. You also have Outlook, right? So basically we use the Office applications actually allow multiple users to co-author documents simultaneously without having to have too many file copies. Then for Outlook, you have email and calendar integration for seamless communication. Then you also have your OneDrive, which is more or less like the Microsoft Cloud storage that allows users to share and collaborate on files in real time. So before I go to the next topic, I would like to just go straight off to the hands-on where we get to sign into Office 365 and you see real-time all of these Office applications and how they can be used for collaboration. So I'm going to be sharing my browser now. Please hold on. So I'm just going to sign into office.com now. And I have okay, please hold on. I need to sign out and sign back into this account. Okay, so let me go in via incognito so you can just see the first prompt of you having to sign into office.com. So at this point, for those that do already have a Worker School account, that's a Microsoft 365 account, I would like to say, if you're just getting started with Microsoft 365, it's actually a paid subscription, right? It's a cloud-based paid subscription that you do have to decide based on your organization needs, which of the subscription best suits your plan. So for me, I do already have one, so I'll just sign in. But if you don't have one and you like to sign up, you can sign up for the free version, or also get started with a trial version where you have within 30 days to decide if you like to continue with the use of Microsoft 365. So I'll be signing in here with one of my accounts.
Miss Sophia, I don't know if you're saying anything, but your mic is on mute.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm just authenticating. Okay, then. So now I'm signed in with my Worker School account, and as a first timer, you'd have to install, right? You have the option here. So if we're looking at within an organization as an employee, you've just been um, you've just started work and your account has been created. You have your sign-in credentials. You sign into office.com. The first thing you want to do is install the Office applications right from your right-hand side here. You have the install Office applications. You have the Microsoft apps here, install Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and more. What this does, it gives you the desktop version of the Office applications. So you get to download these applications and install them on your PC. So one thing I used to say is Microsoft 365 is quite robust. It's affordable. It actually enhances collaboration and increases productivity within an organization. So with Microsoft 365, you don't have to use third-party service providers. It comes with basically, I would say, almost everything you need to actually drive the digital workspace within your organization. If you're looking at, let me say, without having to install this, because I do already have this on my PC, I could just come right here to the top left. You'd see the app launcher where we have the different Microsoft 365 applications. So if I click on more apps, and I go right here, all apps. Yeah, so you can see everything here. So because basically at the point of signing in for Microsoft 365, I used to say you're automatically the admin for that Microsoft 365 tenant. So if you're looking at the applications, we have bookings, we have calendar, Clipcamp, connections, Engage, Excel, Forms, um, you have OneDrive, Loop, OneNote, Outlook for email, schedule, and for creating tasks. You have Planner, you have the Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and quite a lot of them. You have SharePoint, Teams, which we're currently using now. You have To Do, and you have the Word. So now, how do we use these applications to collaborate real time? How do you get to see more than because what we're looking at here is the use of Microsoft 365 to collaborate within your organization. So if we're looking at Word, for example, you have Word. When you open the Word document right from your browser, it simply implies you're using the web apps. I could also choose to open Word from my PC based on the, if I type Word now, you'd see that this actually is the version of the Word that I just
Hello, ma. Miss
downloaded on
Sophia.
my PC. Yeah, can you
Hello, ma.
hear
Can you
me?
hear me, ma? Yeah, I can,
Yes,
ma.
I
Please,
can
we
hear
aren't seeing
you.
your screen in real time. We
Oh,
are only
sorry
seeing
about that.
the welcome page. I think maybe
Okay,
it's network.
let me stop sharing and reshare my screen.
All right, ma. Thank you so much. Okay, your screen is up now.
Okay,
You might want to
so
go back you might want to
again,
go back a
okay.
step, because we were not able to like follow through those time when the screen is not up.
Wasn't showing. Okay, so at
Yes.
what point were you seeing my screen, please? When
Yeah,
was
we
the last time you
saw
saw my screen?
around where you can just start from where you started exploring those tools. You've tried signing in and the authentication, you get that part. So you can just start from
Okay,
around there. Thank
okay.
you, ma.
So, yeah. Mm, okay. So what you have here is the Microsoft Word. I think before this, I had showed us the different Microsoft 365 applications. And can you just confirm if you saw all of those applications, Samia?
Um, I can see the Microsoft Word interface, but
Okay.
not
So let
the
me
other
just take
application.
it. Okay, let me take it one step back. So right here, we have immediately after I authenticated, this is actually the Microsoft 365 dashboard, irrespective of whether you're an admin or an individual employee, either an employee or you're signed in for your personal use. So this is how the Microsoft 365 dashboard basically looks like. The only difference between when I'm signed in with an admin or when I'm signed in as a regular user is just this admin icon. So like I said earlier, when you sign up for Microsoft 365 business, so we actually have different Microsoft 365 plans. Sorry, I'm taking it quite fast. So you have Microsoft 365 Home, you have Microsoft 365 Education, you have Microsoft 365 Business, and you have Microsoft 365 Enterprise. So for the home, you have a personal and you could have for family. When you say personal, it's just for one user. When you say for family, you could have up to 6 different users using the same subscription, right? For 6 different users, you have access to all of the features that comes with the Microsoft 365 plan. So that's for home. So for education, that's for either schools, universities, colleges, institutions, basically for education. We have different plans there. You have A1, E3, A1, A3, A5. That's for the Microsoft 365 education. Then you also have Microsoft 365 for business. So the Microsoft 365 for business also comes with different plans. You could have the business basic, business standard, business premium apps for business. So then you do have for the enterprise, which is E1, E3, and E5. So now if you're signing up for M365 for business, either for business or for enterprise and for education, you're actually going to be the admin, right, managing that tenant. So you're more or less like the global admin. Now for the admin roles, you also have different admin roles. You don't necessarily have to be the global admin. We could assign different roles to you based on the services that you would be managing for the organization. Now going back to the Microsoft 365 collaboration tools, I did say that for an employee that has just been onboarded to an organization, you would want to have the 365 apps installed on your PC. All you need to do is once you sign into office.com with the account that your IT admin must have created for you, you just come to the right hand side, top right hand side here to download and install the Office applications, the likes of Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the rest. So for you to see all of the applications that Microsoft 365 comes or offers, you do have, you just come to the app launcher here at the top left hand side. You have the 3 square dots there. That's the app launcher. So when you click on that, you can come to more apps and you get to see all of the applications that you could use to increase productivity and collaborate with team members within your organization. So I'll be starting with the most common of all of these Microsoft 365 applications that's used in most organizations. You have the Office suite, which comprises of the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access. So if we're starting with Word, right from here, if I click on Word, I want to believe that you can see my screen. And I'm starting off with a blank document. So from here, let's say I want to create I'm working on a project, say for the first quarter, I intend to start off a mentorship. I'm just going to use a mentorship program. Good. So In this instance, what I'll do first is to, if I intend to collaborate on this particular program where I have other team members, we need to brainstorm, pull up ideas together. All I need to do is just come here at the right-hand side, you have share, and I can decide which of the team members I would want to share this Microsoft document with. Now, in my organization, you do already have different users here, different team members. I can just pick three to five of them and add them as collaborators to this document. So once I send the invite, I don't know if there's any user here that would like to share their email address. So email address with me. So once I send the, once I've added these users to this document, they would get an email notification, and we would be able to collaborate real time at the same time on this Microsoft document. So if I also need to add mention anyone, I could just come here and add mention one of my team members and ask for either their opinion on having to add up, check something, or whatever it is I need to do. I'll just highlight them here, indicate in the comment there, and assign the tasks to them. So that way I've been able to share this document in real time with my team members. And for everyone that would be collaborating here, you would see. So those people have actually mentioned now, because they are not either available online or signed in, we can't see them here. So we get to see real time those that are actually collaborating on this document. So for the Microsoft Word, I'm sure majority of us are familiar with how to use the Word document. So I'll just move to another application within the Microsoft 365. We have Outlook. So Outlook basically is also for sending emails. You have your contacts, your calendar. You get to share your calendar with users, either within your organization. There are instances where you can also share calendars with users outside your organization. So now I'll need to sign into my Outlook. This is the Outlook web app. But for the Outlook desktop app, you actually don't need to always sign in there. You can just come in from your desktop and you have your Outlook Classic there. You have the new Outlook. You also have the Classic Outlook. So that just pops up and opens my Outlook for me from the desktop application. So that's it. So now talking about Outlook, how do we use Outlook within organizations? So you know that I think one of the ways that we communicate is by sending emails, right? So from here, you as a user, you're able to send emails from your Outlook, either to not just to people within your organization, but also outside your organization. And in instances where you're having mail flow issues. Take, for example, you sent out emails and the person you sent the email to isn't receiving the emails. You're expecting an email and you're not receiving the emails. One thing your IT admin can do is to go to we do have the Exchange Admin Center that's used for managing everything mail flow issues. So when you come to the Exchange Admin Center, you can run a message trace to actually check what happened and why the emails weren't delivered or not. So now I'm going to go back to let's say I come back to Outlook now and I'm sending a mail. Can someone just please share an email address with me in the chat box?
Yeah, so there are some email
Oh,
addresses in
okay.
the chat box.
Okay, let me just make do with that. Okay, I'll be using this one. Yeah, so I'm sending a test email to Abu Afifa. Mm, So I just want you to see how you're able to also.
Well, the email address is not correct. There is an H, the last letter. I think you did not include
Okay,
it. There's an
it's
H.
fine. It's fine.
Yes.
Whether or not it's correct, we can still I'll make do with that, right?
All
So
right.
what you would notice now is yeah, the email I sent, just like Semia has just said, the email address is incorrect, right? And you can see clearly here that I got an NDR. An NDR is a non-delivery response showing that something went wrong. I got a bounce back. The email did not go through. What happened? That email account wasn't found. So obviously, the email address is incorrect. So the mail didn't get delivered. So from Outlook, you have different folders. You have your, just like your regular Gmail, this is a Microsoft version. You have your inbox folder, your drafts folder, your sent items folder, deleted items folder, all of these different folders here. So if you go to the sent items folder, you get to see the emails that you just sent. And for the NDR I got, that's in my inbox folder. So if I'm sending to a right email address, you would see that that gets delivered without the NDR. So let's say I'm using Abu FIFA. You said there's an H here. Gmail. Okay. Okay then. So I'm also sending test 2. So this should go through. Yeah, so I didn't get an NDR. So that would mean that the email went through. So now, going back to the Exchange Admin Center, I wanted to show us how, take for example, I had sent the email to the wrong email address and Abu Afifa was expecting my email. He didn't get my email. Then he reaches out to me and he's letting me know that he didn't receive the email. What would the IT admin do? What the IT admin would do would he would have to go to the Exchange admin center just to confirm that just to know what exactly happened. Did it get delivered or not? So what we normally do from the Exchange Admin Center is just to run a message trace against the sender and the recipient uh, of the mail. So if you come over here, you have a status trace, then putting in the sender as Rafia, and the recipient as this, then I run a search. So we can see from here that the mail actually failed. It didn't get delivered. So that's it. And most times the NDR will tell you possible reasons um, why the email didn't get delivered. You can see here, we have an error message saying that the email account that you tried to read does not exist. So please try double checking you need to double check the recipient's email address for typos. So obviously you can see that the email address is incorrect. So if we also run a trace against the correct email address, you would see that the email got delivered. So here's the status of the second test email that we sent, all green. That shows that the email got delivered to the user. So back to Outlook, aside from sending emails, we have other options. So now I would say that for Outlook, other ways that you can collaborate within Outlook is you have the likes of Microsoft 365 groups, you have distribution list, you have shared mailboxes. So what you did do with a shared mailbox is, let's say for example, you have a support team or the HR team or the accounting team, and you want them as a team to have just one mailbox, right? You don't have to start assigning different licenses to all the members of that team. So what you just do is create a shared mailbox, add the members, like the members of each, say, department. If it's the accounting department or the HR department, they're all members of the shared mailbox. Once they are members of the shared mailbox, they have access to the mails, like any mails coming into that shared mailbox. Any member of that shared mailbox can respond to the emails, and it will just look like it's the response is coming from one person, even if every member within the shared mailbox is able to respond to the mails that are coming in. You have inquiries, whatever it is you're asking, you need support. If it's the support team, they're able to, anyone within that team can offer you the support that you need. So that's for Outlook. We have OneDrive for those of you that would love to back up your data in the cloud. So OneDrive allows for you to back up data files, your personal files. You can choose to share with whomever you want to share with. So right here in OneDrive, say for example, I want to upload either a file or folder, if it's the Word document, whatever it is you want to back up, you can just come to your OneDrive and upload the files that you would like to store to you'd like to be backed up to the cloud. Now, another thing with OneDrive is this. Let's say I have this document here from my OneDrive. I can share this file with people both within my organization and outside my organization. So all I need to do is just click on these three dots. Either you click on the three dots or you click on the share icon. Please hold on. Okay. So right here, for external users, this is going to take me to, for external users, I think I skipped one part of having to create users within your Microsoft 365 tenant. Now, users within your organizations, you just get to add them here directly from the admin portal. You just come straight here, you click on active users. So these users are actually users that exist within my organization. You'd see, for example, here, you can differentiate between Abdulmalik at newgraduates.allmicrosoft.com and this one that has the Gmail account. Now, for the accounts that have the gmail.com or yahoo.com, those are actually external users that you've added to your Microsoft 365 tenant for collaboration, right? How do you get to add these users here? You just can't add a Gmail account directly the way you'd add a regular your normal employee in your organization. No, you have to add external users to your Microsoft 365 tenants as guest users. So, and that's usually done from the Entra ID. So we actually have different admin centers where you manage your Microsoft 365 who has access to your Microsoft 365 resources. So from the Entra ID portal, you're able to add guest users, right? And from there, you can share your files with them. They can collaborate on those files, make edits on the files, contribute, whatever it is they need to do, they're able to do that. So, but first and foremost, you must have added them as guest users before you can share those files from your OneDrive. In this case, Rafia with the Gmail account has already been added as a guest user. So I'll just send that. And Rafia is going to get a notification that a particular file or document has been shared with her and she would be able to edit the file. So we also have Microsoft Teams. I think I've been able to look at Word, Outlook, OneDrive. For Microsoft Forms, you use the forms to get responses. Sorry. Let's say you're planning an event and you'd like to know the number of persons that will be available. You can create a Microsoft Forms, or at the end of a session, you can also create a Microsoft Forms to assess the learners within your after the class has been taken. So I'll go to Teams now, Microsoft Teams. For Microsoft Teams, please hold on.
Hello, ma. I don't know. We can't hear you again.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank you, ma.
sorry about that. I want to share my screen again. And yeah, so for Microsoft Teams, I want to use the web version. Kindly hold on. So for Teams, you also have the web version and the desktop version. One thing with the desktop version is most times it comes with more features, right? You would see that many employees prefer to use either the Outlook desktop app or the Teams desktop app. So for Teams, here, right here, you get to see, please hold on, sign out. Okay. I'll need to share my screen again. Okay then. So for teams, you could have you do have here you have your teams, and you have members within the teams that you might have that's been added to your team. So basically, for Microsoft Teams, it's also one of the collaboration tools. And within Teams, you have calendar. You can make calls either within your organization, outside your organization. You also have the option for the OneDrive. You have the chats here. And you can choose to add other applications that you can use within Teams, either adding them as a tab or directly as files. Now within Teams also you can choose to schedule a meeting, or just the same way we're all here in this webinar now. You can have your meetings, your screen share, and when you need to also mention someone just to get their attention, you can also do that from here within a team. So I'm going to stop with the Microsoft 365 applications for now and proceed with the next topic for today, which is please hold on. Hacks to thriving in remote work settings. So okay. Hello, Samia. Are you here?
Yes, I am
Okay.
with you.
Okay. Okay then. So I was looking at the hacks to thriving in remote work settings. First and foremost, you need to create a dedicated workspace. So it's advisable that you set up a designated work
Your
area.
screen is still at you are still at the Microsoft 365 collaboration tools
Okay.
on your screen.
So how about now? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen, but it is still not yet at the
Still okay.
segment where we are. Yeah. Yes, we are on the same page now.
Okay then. So I started with the first one, hacks to thriving in remote work settings. Now that most organizations have embraced remote work, and for employees that work from home, it's advisable that you create a dedicated workspace um, where you're able to focus well at the start of the day. This basically helps enhance productivity. So it's good that you invest in a good chair and desk for comfort. Use noise cancelling headphones or headsets to eliminate background noise. Ensure that you have stable internet connection and power supply for uninterrupted work. Another thing is to have good work ethics. Make sure you're not absent from work for no just reason. You work smart. Use tools like the collaboration tools. We also have the Microsoft Copilot that you can use. Be extremely good at what you do and be consistent in your deliverables. Stay up to date by continuously learning and improving your skills. Now, it's also good that you prioritize your tasks, know which task is most important, get it done. This helps you accomplish more work in less time. Set clear daily, weekly, or monthly goals. Another thing is for you to prioritize effective communication and collaboration. Know when to reach out for help, and because you don't have to do it all alone, just so as to avoid a burnout. Another thing is to, just like I've mentioned earlier, use tools like Microsoft Teams to stay connected and collaborate effectively. Prioritize your well-being. Now, remote work, though we do have the benefits of remote work, where you have the job satisfaction, the flexibility, work-life balance, and all of that, it's advisable that you prioritize your well-being. um, you would notice that while you're home working, you might think that you have all the time. Some people tend to spend more time on their jobs, do overtime, and neglect having to take breaks in between work hours. So it's very good that you take your well-being, your mental and physical health, very important to avoid burnout, and try as much as possible to stay hydrated and exercise often. And the last one would be to set boundaries, maintain a healthy work-life balance, avoid working overtime, ensure you have time for self-care, for friends and for families. So this will bring me to the end of today's session. Thank you all for listening, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed the session. So that'll be all from my end, Semia.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. It was indeed a wonderful session. Thank you so much for dishing all these like dishing values from the beginning right to the end. So thank you so much, Ma. So everyone, I would like you all to jam your hands over again because I cannot feel the energy. Thank you so much for that session now. So, session now, can you please share your screen?
Yeah, I'm doing that soon.
All right, so we'll be moving straight into the question and answer session, and that is just going to happen for 13 minutes. So we're going to be ending the question and answer session by 12:30. So if we have questions, we can raise our hands so that we'll be granted the permission to use mic. Okay, so we have Olarewaju Ogundipe, and okay, let me just check for. We have Zainab. Okay, so please let's raise our hands together so we can know the number of questions we're going to be taking. So, Uncle Echag, You are just raising and dropping your hands. Are you raising your hands or you are dropping your hands? Okay, so we'll be going with HR Tech first. So HR Tech, you let me check if you have been granted microphone. Let me grant you. Okay, so all right, so HR, you have the floor. You can take your question now. You just have to unmute your mic. I allowed your mic already. I granted you the permission to use your mic already. Okay, so if HR is not available, let's have Zainab. Zainab, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to facilitator. So I have two questions here. So the first one is, I don't know, probably you mentioned it earlier and I missed it. So when you hear Microsoft 365 Office, like, is it like an umbrella name for all Microsoft application, or it's like an application on its own or a platform? So I would like to know that. Then the second question is that I remember when we're trying to get onboarded into the program. So a lot of people had this issue with their Outlook. Like they kept being locked out incessantly. So when they create their account, the next day the account is locked, saying that they are violating some organizational rule or something. So it happened to quite a number of people. So I don't know if at that, and when they try to like use the suggested solution, it says that they should try another verification method. So it was quite frustrating at that time. So I don't know, like, what were they doing wrong that made the account to be locked? And I don't know if it's a Microsoft thing or probably there's like a rule they were violating, because the response is like we've detected that some activity violates the Microsoft service agreement. So yes, that's my question. Thank you.
All right, so Ms. Sophia, would you like to if you like to answer one after the other, or they all take their questions at once?
No, I'll prefer to take it one after the other.
All right, ma.
Mhm. So I think the first question was asking about Microsoft 365 Office, if it's an umbrella name or it's a different platform. So it's Microsoft 365 is the umbrella name for all of the applications, right? So it's not a different platform. Just like I said, Microsoft 365 comes with apps and services. So all of those apps you would actually find within Microsoft 365. They are not separate. Everything is under Microsoft 365. So then when you're looking at the services, you say when you begin to look at the Exchange, the Teams, the SharePoint. So all of them, both teams, they are all under Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 is the umbrella name. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, the
Okay.
second one was talking about the Outlook issue. So now, for the person that asked the question, the error message would actually tell what the issue is. You mentioned that the activities violates the Microsoft 365 maybe agreements. Another time you said the verification method. So these are two different issues. Now, I remembered, I think last week we had some users complaining about having issues with their Outlook. That was more or less like a service incident. So when you have too many users having the same issue, it could be a service incident directly from Microsoft. But if it just has to do with sign-in issues, you're not signing in, you need to authenticate, you're not getting the authenticate, the code on your Microsoft Authenticator app on your phone, then the admin would need to register you for what we call the multi-factor authentication. Now, there are instances to when a user's account can be blocked and you'll not be able to send emails. If the EOP, which is the Exchange Online Protection, has detected that that mailbox has been sending too many spam emails, the user would be restricted from sending emails. So these are the different scenarios that could have caused the Outlook issue. So, but I want to believe that has been resolved for the users in your organization.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has been resolved.
Okay, then. So that was more of an SI. Is there any other question?
Yes, we still have three answers. Four answers rather. Okay, so HR Tech, are you available now?
Yes, I'm
So you can go ahead. Your mic is on mute though.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you permit me. I think I have about 3 in 1 question. So my first question is, so lately we needed our students to submit assignments. So I created a Microsoft form for them to, drop a link, then upload a document on the form. So one of the settings I did was to allow only people in the organization to respond to that form. So I was expecting that if they sign in with their IOTB mail, they will be able to use the form. But unfortunately, they could not sign in. So the error was that you can't sign in here with a personal account. Use your work or school account instead. So, and I can say that the student is actually using the email address that was created, when they joined the track, which is their name iotbtech at hotmail.com. So, what could be the challenge in that case? Because for subsequent submission, we need them to stay within the Microsoft tools system, to submit some documents with us. So for that one, we could not use it. So I had to use Google Form. Or that's my first question. Then secondly is something close to it. I would like if you can show us uh, how we can share documents. So I have the Microsoft Word or Points document that I want to share with someone. Just to share the link with the person and how to, configure the link to give them a particular kind of access, maybe access to just view only or to edit. And of course, sometimes when we share, it's sent to the person to request access to edit. So I don't want it's not I send something to a team member and they have to access to edit. I don't know if you can show us that, because I think it's one of the areas that we actually need uh, for this program. Then lastly is the outlook. So can you also show us? So I think it's one of the easier advantage of Outlook over Gmail, that you can easily reverse an email. So I send an email now, so I can easily reverse it. So I don't know if you can also show us that method where I can quickly, withdraw an email maybe before it's too late. And if there's any other thing around it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the first one, okay, just hold on. Okay, for the forms, you said you like me to share how, okay, where the the learners were signing into forms and it was saying they weren't using their work or school account. In most cases, you'd see that from the browser, they're already signed in with their Gmail account. Now, one thing you can do is have them sign in via incognito. Let them paste the forms link on incognito and sign in using their work or school account. That should work for them. Did you try that with them?
No, I didn't try that.
Okay, so in most instances, when you're getting that error message of having to, you're not signed in with your work or school account, it's advisable that they sign in via incognito, because on their normal browsers, either if it's the Chrome or Microsoft Edge, they're already signed in with their personal account. So it's going to be like more like an account conflict. But when you're signing in via incognito, it would pick up the work or school account. Then for the second one that has to do with the Microsoft Word, you mentioned how we can share a Microsoft Word document using the sharing link. So I think I'll need to share my screen here. Okay. So I was working on this particular document. This is a Word document. And if we need to share this document, though it's a blank document, if you need to share this with, if you need to share this with the learners, you just come to the top right here. You have either you're copying the link and sending it to them via email, or you have a Teams chat group where you want to share the link with them. That's, you have this, anyone with the link can edit. Now, if you also want to do advanced access, here, this works for anyone, or you just want only people within the IOTB. Only people within IOTB should have access to the Word document. You can select the second option. And if you would want to set more, like where you were mentioning having to only view, you have different access rights. If you give the can edit, they can make changes, can review, they can only give suggestions, can view, they can't make changes, they can they can only view the document. And if it has to do with cannot download, they would not be able to download, but they can view the document. So this has to do with you just click on the settings icon and you can put in these limitations for who has access to the Word document. If you also need to set an expiration date to when they would not be able to use the Word document, you can also add a date here. Then you click apply. So only people within the IOTB would be able to work on this document. And for the Outlook recall email, what we call that recall, when you send an email and maybe by mistake, you sent an email to the wrong person and you need to recall the email. How do you do that from Outlook? So this is my Outlook. Let me stop the screen share and reshare again. Yes, Semia, can you please confirm that you can see my Outlook?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say this is a new mail that I'm sending out to. So one thing with the recall is recall only works for emails that are sent to users within the organization. So if I mistakenly send an email outside to an external user, you can't recall that email. So that's one limitation with the recall. Now I'm sending an email to, for example, myself, and I'm saying this is a test email. So if I want to recall that email, I'll go to my sent items folder, double click on that email. Take note, double click on the email, click on file.
All right.
Here you have message resend or recall. So I would click recall this message. So you have two options. Do you want to delete it or replace it with another message, or send a message again with the option to update content or to change the recipients? So I'm just going to click on the first one. So message recall can delete or replace copies of this message in recipient inboxes. So are you sure you want to? It's asking, do you want to delete the unread copies? Do you want to delete the unread copies and replace it with a new message? So in this instance, I'm just going to delete the unread copies. If I need to replace it with something, maybe the right email, then I can also do that. So that's how you recall an email from Outlook. Go to the sent items folder, double click on the email you sent, click on the file icon at the top left, come to resend or recall, select the recall this message and click OK. So we walked through the first one. In a situation where you want to replace it with a new message, right? So it's not just a kindly ignore. You have a real message you want to put, then you can put in the right email here. Then you send that. So it's going to recall the old one and replace it with the new email. So if I go to my inbox, I'm supposed to see the email recall. Supposed to use this. So either of the two, we can't even see either of the two in my inbox folder. So let's take it once again. I'm sending to Rafia. And this is test email 3. Okay, I think what I'm doing is sending to my other account. Just give me a minute. This should be to Rafia.abdulsalam. Rafia. Why is the mail not getting delivered? Okay, let me try with the Outlook web app. So I just wanted us to see that get delivered to the inbox folder, then also see that after the recall, the end user would no longer see the email in the inbox folder.
Your screen is no longer on.
Okay, let me go back. So yeah, I don't know if you can confirm the person that asked the question. Is this something you can try from your end? Did you get the steps to how you can recall the Outlook, that the email that has been sent? So I think HR asked the question, right? Hello, Samia. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can. I got
Okay.
switched off now, but
Okay. So basically, that's how you recall a mail after it has been sent. You just double click, then go to the file, select the recall, and you can recall that email. Do we have any other question?
yes, we still do. Okay, so we have Yusuf Alade. So I've allowed your mic. You can unmute it now.
Naam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you for that presentation. We are very honored to have you around. So I have just one question because I've been clearly instructed by the admin team that I only have one slot. So one question, but under that one question, I have like 3 sub-questions. So the first one, you have partly answered it, but I still want to get a bit of clarification around it. So it's around sharing Word documents. So can you share outside the Microsoft domain? That's my first question. Then the second question is around email labeling. So, I mean, categorization. So if you consistently have email from some set of people or from a particular group email, can how do we label in Microsoft Word? How do we label email? For instance, if I consistently receive email from you, I would want to say, okay, anything that comes from Rafia should be labeled Rafia, right? Then the next one will be around tracing. So if I remember when you were talking about tracing if an email has been delivered, can you also trace if a delivered email has been read? So because I understand in some, I mean, in pitching, like people that just go on social media to pick your email randomly, your official email, and they send you email, they get like a notification or something, a trigger that tells them this email has been read or otherwise? So if they do, is it a possibility in Microsoft Word to figure out an email which has been read or not? Then lastly, as I mean, I just want to pick your expertise in Microsoft ecosystem. as a prospective data professional that is looking to practice firstly in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, but priority on Nigeria first. So if I want to improve my employability skills, would you rather advise that I focus more on Microsoft Workspace or Google Workspace? Yeah, those are my questions. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So I think I'll need to take the questions one after the other. The first one says, can you share a Microsoft Word document with users outside your Microsoft 365 tenant? The answer is yes, you can share a Microsoft Word document or any kind of a file with users outside your organization. And I had explained during the class that for you to be able to do this, you need to first add those users, right? You're not just sharing the Microsoft document or files with just anybody, right? So it has to be someone outside your organization, and for you to be able to do that, you need to add such kind of users as guest users to your organization. Talking about labeling, labeling would be within Outlook, right? How you get to label emails that are coming from a specific, let's say you receive lots of emails from me and you want to label that mail. So we have that option in Outlook. Let me quickly see where you get to do that. Within Outlook, you can label emails. So what you should do is you go to the inbox folder. For that particular user you would want to label, you can choose to categorize, right? Emails from this particular user. So let me share my screen. Just at the Outlook that I have here, I'm not signed in with my own account. No, not that I'm not signed in with my account. I'm signed in with a different organization account. I would rather use my test tenant account. Let me see if I can switch. Raffia, admin, add new dates.soft.com. Be sharing my screen now. Just want the Outlook app to pick up my worker school account. So while I'm waiting for Outlook to come up, you also asked about if message trace can show that an end user has read the email that has been sent to him or her. So message trace doesn't show if a mail has been read or not. Neither does Microsoft 365. Neither would Microsoft 365 show you that. So you as a user would only be able to tell, right, if a mail has been read or not. So that would mean that from within your Outlook, you would see that for mails that haven't been, it's still coming up this way. So you can see emails that are highlighted would show that you've not read this email. And
Excuse me,
emails,
are you sharing your screen?
yes, I'm sharing my screen.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
you
not
still can't
visible
see
on
my
this end.
screen.
Yes.
Okay. Let me go back. So this is Outlook. Like I said, I mentioned that message trace would not show you if a mail has been read or not. Neither would Microsoft 365 show you that. That's like still within Exchange, you won't see that. So the only person that can say if a mail has been read or not is the end user, the person you sent the email to. And if it's your inbox folder, you can see that yourself that for mails that you've not read, you'd see that they are usually in bold, right? While the ones that you've read do not have any kind of bold subject title. I think this is one way that you can differentiate between emails that have been read or haven't been read as a user, but not as an admin. Then labeling, I was going to show you how to label emails. My Outlook is frozen, but once it's up, I'll still show that to you. So for you to label emails, you just go to your inbox folder. Like you said, pick one of the emails that the user, pick one of the emails the user has sent to you, right click on it. When you right click on it, you'll see categorize, right? Let me try to share my screen again. I'll need you to confirm that you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's
Not
coming
yet.
up.
Okay.
It has gone off again. Yeah, it's up.
Okay. So this is it. Let's say hmm, I want to use I want to pick one of the emails here. Okay. So this is a mail. You can tell between these two emails. One has Rafia Abdul Salam, the other one has Rafia Admin. So you can tell that the one Rafia Abdul Salam, this one has been read, right? While the one with the subject title in bold hasn't been read. So this is just one way you can tell that a mail has been read or a mail hasn't been read. Now talking about labeling emails from a particular user or sender, all you need to do is right click on the email. You do have categorize here. You can choose to pick which of these category you want to use. Then yeah, so this is the first time I'm actually using this. Do you want to rename it? No, I don't need to rename. Then click yes. So that's labeling, right? When you get to categorize. Then I think I've answered the first question, the second one, the third one, if you can read, tell if a mail has been read or not. Then the last one would be for someone who is a data professional, which of these two, the Google Workspace or the Microsoft Workspace, which one would I advise that you take up interest in? Now, I would say that um, Microsoft 365 is very, very how do I put it? Do I say it's the most popular, yeah, most popular collaboration tool that's used today in the sense of when we say modern workplace or digital workspace, right? Most organizations, if it's in Nigeria, we can say just few companies use Microsoft 365 within Nigeria, right? We can say few organizations have embraced the use of Microsoft 365, but outside Nigeria, you'd see that most of the Fortune 500 companies, hardly would you see anyone that doesn't use Microsoft 365. Not that we don't have organizations that use the Google Workspace and all of that, but every day we have, I don't want to say we have millions of users that use Microsoft 365. So aside from the fact that you can be a technical support engineer, a Microsoft 365 technical support engineer, you can be a Microsoft 365 cloud solutions engineer. So Microsoft 365 is very, very vast. You're not just an Exchange Online admin, you're not just a Teams administrator, you're not just a SharePoint administrator, you're not just an Intune administrator or identity and access management administrator. Like you see, all of these job roles are roles that you would find within the Microsoft 365 workspace. So there are lots of opportunities within Microsoft 365. It just depends on you, right? Because if you're talking about Google Workspace, I don't know how many organizations use Google Workspace. But if you're talking about Microsoft 365, yeah, it's even self aside from you can also do well to learn both, right? While you're good at Microsoft 365, you can also be good at Google Workspace administration, so that it's an added advantage for you. It's all about how you can how the users in your organization can make the most use of either of these two collaboration tools. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I can tell you for sure that you have lots of opportunities within the Microsoft 365 workspace.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. So we have just two people left. So I would like to like the two people raising their hands. So I'd like your questions to be straightforward because we are far behind timing. So please make your questions straightforward and don't like just go straight to the point. So I'll be taking Ahmad now. So Ahmad, you can unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon to all assistant and existing protocol. Ma, I just have two questions. My first question is that when you are talking about that's admin exchanger, my admin exchanger, when a person wants to trace something, it is only found on the 360, or it can be found on like other apps like even Outlook, or it's only 365 like that. Then my second question is when you are talking about like adding people to an organization, maybe it's key. I skipped maybe when you are doing that part. Maybe to I want to maybe you should maybe shed more light on it, and maybe like just last we have been added to these teams by IOTB, and like when a person is being added to like an organization, like just they use a new Outlook mail, does that is it necessary, like maybe when a person want to add people to maybe an organization maybe in the future? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I understood that question, but I think the first part was asking about email, right? That is it only from Exchange Admin Center that you can trace emails? For that, the person who Ahmed,
Yes, ma.
is that the question?
Yes, ma.
Okay. Yes, it is only from the Exchange Admin Center that you can run a message trace, right? And the reason why is, like I said, we have different admin centers. Any issue that relates to mail flow that relates to Outlook, right? Or I would say that has to do with a user mailbox. It's managed from the Exchange Admin Center. So now anything that has to do with even OneDrive, you can do that. You can check that from the Microsoft 365 homepage. That's the dashboard. Anything that has to do with Teams, you can check that from the Teams Admin Center. Anything that has to do with SharePoint, you can check that from the SharePoint Admin Center. So each of these services has its own, each of these applications has its own admin center that you can check what's actually happening, either from the admin center or directly with the end user. You get to troubleshoot what the issue is and you resolve the issue. Now, but for the second question, I didn't get the second question.
How to add people to an organization, maybe just as we have been added to these teams, to this organization.
Okay.
If necessary.
Okay. So, okay, how do you add users to an organization? So for you to add users to your organization, that's done from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So all you need to do is you create the user as a new user. Let me share my screen. I think I showed that step. I'm not sure I did. Okay, let me just open. So what you do is you have to be an admin, right? A regular user cannot just add users to Microsoft 365. You have to be a global admin for you to be able to add users. Either you're a global admin or we have a user admin role, right? Either of these two roles allows for you to be able to create users within a Microsoft 365 tenant. So let me quickly share that with you, how to create a user in Microsoft 365.
Okay, so you're not sharing your screen yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do that now. So, like I said, you just go to office.com, you sign into the Microsoft 365 dashboard. You come to your left navigation pane, you click on the three dots here. You have the admin icon. You click on the admin icon, and once you're here, you have the users. You have users on your left navigation pane. You click on active users. So all of these users you see here are existing users. So if I'm just adding Ahmed as a new user, all I need to do is just to click add user, add a user. Then I put in your first name, which is Ahmed. I put in your last name. Then this goes your display name. Then your username, depending on the organization's nomenclature. Some organizations could have first name dot last name. It doesn't have it's not case sensitive. So you have ahmed.abdusalam at, this is your organization's custom domain added there. So you can choose to either use the automatically create a password, that's the system is going to generate the password for you, or I can choose to give you a password that you would use, right? So then when I share this password with you, if I check this option, it simply says that you would now have to change that password to a password of your choice. If I don't check this option, then you're just going to continue using the password that I shared with you. But if I check this option, then you have to, whenever you sign in, you'll be prompted to choose a password of your choice. You're going to put in your own password. Now here comes to the licenses. Without the license, you would not be able to use any of these Microsoft 365 applications. you can create a user account. That user exists, right? But without a license, that's why I said Microsoft 365 is a paid cloud service. It's a paid subscription, either a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription. So once you have a license assigned, then this user has access to all of the applications that comes with this particular license. You can see this is an E5 license. And we have several other types of licenses. So these are all the applications that that user would have access to. You can see they are all checked here. So you have Exchange Online, that gives you access to the mailbox. You have bookings, you have Defender, you have Entra ID. So going all, we have 73 of them. So you have access to any of those applications. Here comes the roles I was talking about. If I want you to be a global admin, I want you to be able to also create users without me being there. I can just come over here. You have the admin center access. I'll give you the global admin. A global admin has access to all the admin centers within Microsoft 365. A global admin has access to manages like everything that has to do with Microsoft 365. If I'm not giving you a global admin access and I'm giving you other roles, you have limitations to the things that you can do. If I give you Exchange, you can only manage the Exchange admin center. If I give you help desk, you only be able to what? Reset passwords, reauthenticate, reset passwords and do the reauthentication for all non-admins, right? So each role here tells you what you can do. And I can proceed to click next. Then this is just basically how you create a user. And from here, the user would be able to sign into office.com and the user would have access to all of the applications and services that comes with that license that you've assigned to the user. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, ma. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. We are very sorry. So we'll be taking the last question for the day. So Adi, are you here? So you can unmute your mic now if you are here.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. You've answered three of my questions, but the last one is it possible to probably after getting the license, you're able to create a community, just like the IOTB, able to create a community and you want to restrict some people from probably joining the class, or yes, you want to restrict that. Is it possible?
So now, when you talk about a class within the community, if you have an IOTB tenant, right? And within that tenant, we've created users who are the students within the IOTB Learning Academy. If you create a Teams meeting, and so now restriction would only mean that, how do I put that now? Creating a meeting and having to restrict who has access. Just join the cloud, I beg. Okay. So I don't get that person statement. So it's only those that you share the meeting link with that will actually have access to that meeting. So restricting users, maybe at the point of sharing, you can restrict who has access, and just within the meeting, maybe you have to sign in with your work or school account before you can attend the meeting. Yeah.
I got that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wayak.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. We've come to the end of the question and answer. So just before you leave the call, would like to take the vote of thanks before you leave the call. So Abdulatif, do we have you here? No, we can no longer take questions. So please drop your hands. You can only appreciate that by sending reactions, either clap or send love. Just send reactions so we can appreciate that. So Abdulatif, do we have you here? Oh, sorry. Let me just allow your microphone. So, Abdulatif.
Okay. Can you hear me? Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Exceptional. Can you please share the screen?
So can I go on? I think I have a couple
Yes,
of bits in mind.
yes, done.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. I think a lot have been learned, and I believe every one of us have gained one or two things. It was amazing, amazing. So hello, amazing minds. On behalf of the IOTB Tech team, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who joined us today for the very first session of our Employability Clinic series. To our brilliant facilitator, thank you for generously share your knowledge on collaboration in Agile and Microsoft 365 tools that makes remote work smoother and even a little more fun. You didn't just teach us, to be honest, you empowered us. To all participants, thank you for showing up, engaging actively and bringing your full self to the session. We hope you are walking away with fresh insights and practical acts to thrive in your career journey. This is just the beginning, as you all know, and we are so glad you are on this ride with us. Watch out for the next clinic because we are just getting started. Until next time, see you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. I bless you. Thank you so much, Sophia. We really appreciate. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you for your time.
So, Moscow, you have the floor. You can. Okay, so I thought you were raising your hand. So our next webinar series is coming up on the exceptional year. Is it 25th or 22nd of this month? It's coming up very soon.
It's coming up on the
Right.
29th of this month.
Oh, sorry.
The details of the section will be sent across. Thank you so much for making it a day with us today, and see you at our next webinar section.
All right, so we'll be having the closing recitation now. Moscow, can you please give us the closing recitation?